I draw sometimes, yes, but I find that I like writing stories more. Like, that's how I like to show my creativity. And so that's what I tend to do.
With the fishing and the hunting that I do, it's something, you're out there looking at it, and it's fun to sometimes just sit in your boat and look out at the heron that's sitting 20 yards away and sketch it out really quick. It's cool that you can be able to capture that without having to use a phone and take a picture of it. It's something that you drew out and you captured it right then and there by yourself without having to use technology. I have drawn geese and ducks just sitting out on the pier at South Haven or drawing moonlight, and it's fun to be able to sit out there because while you're drawing it, you're not just drawing it, you're thinking about it. You think a lot about the things that you're drawing. You think about, why is it here? Why is it just sitting there letting me draw it? Why is it even around me? You'd think, you're a person, it's probably very horrified of what you're possibly doing, but you're just sitting there nice and quiet and drawing it so it doesn't have a care. And there could be a lot of things. I've drawn fish that we've kept just while they're sitting out in the grass. You can draw those because other than that, there's not a lot of places you're going to get a perspective of that. So it's fun to draw those and think about that they've come out of water right to here, and this is the only place you're really ever going to be able to capture it while looking at it, unless you got a real good eye to look underwater. It's fun to think about the things that you're drawing, especially if it's something that you can't really draw looking at unless you have it out of its natural environment or pulled down from something. It's fun to think about stuff like that. How did it get here? Why is it here?
Yeah, drawing, yeah, I enjoy it. It's more of a relaxation thing for me. Like if I can throw in music and draw on my sketchbook or work on something, then yeah, I'm gonna do it. So I do have multiple sketchbooks. Personally, the one that I have here is stuff that I like to focus on, that I like to work on. The sketchbook recently is because I've got Copic markers, and I'm really engaged with hard lines, and then I like superhero. I think drawing stuff like this is very cool. I like drawing anything that requires like a word, that you can bend the word with like a plant or something. I think that's very cool. This is more of practicing with Copic markers. Obviously not the best, there's not very much shading, it's just more straightforward color. This is me practicing. I've gotten really good at eyes lately. This is like the first when I first started, and then they've progressed greater. I like drawing figures in different like positions. It's more of superhero stuff. This is what this sketchbook's mainly focused about. My other sketchbooks that I own I have a nature and then cityscape and stuff like that. This is more with like trying to throw graphite and then taking color pencil to give it more, depth to the picture. So you have the black and white, and then in the background you have a color drop. And I use this color because obviously Spider-Man is kind of reddish orange, so that by using this, it just shows, well, that's Spider-Man. It's more Copic marker. I worked with Copic marker and graphite and colored pencil, just to make, I want to look like this, like the Venom thing consuming Spider-Man, which is very cool. A lot of Spider-Man. This is probably like my best piece with Copic markers. It took around 3 hours. And I went through, made sure I got everything correct. I did with red colored pencil first when I sketched it out, and then I went back with Copic marker. Tried to do Batman with the same color idea. Obviously old Batman before new Batman. New Batman's more black, old Batman was blue, so I drew the blue background. I'm very into a songwriter, so he has more of like, I think I like his aesthetic of a theme. He's more black and white, he's more conceited. Kind of has like that Johnny Cash look with the slick back hair. So I like to draw him. He's probably like, if I'm going to draw male figures, it's definitely going to be him. I like how his theme is. It's more Venom. More Venom. This is more of a larger scale. I took up the whole page. And this wasn't me practicing on shading. This is practicing to see how fast I could draw him, because I got really good at drawing his figure and drawing him different ways. It's another one of the that songwriter I listen to. Another Venom. This is me trying to draw like more of like an African American body more than drawing the same person over and over again. Same picture, I just, instead of throwing color in the background, I threw just a normal fine liner marker in the background. Another picture, I try to make this look as like if it was a jean jacket, so you make it a little bit more rugged. And more Venom. This is recently, obviously you can tell I have not finished it. It's definitely relaxing in my opinion. I tend that I can focus more with drawing if I just listen to music. If I enjoy the music I listen to, then I usually engage with the art more. Like I'll sit in front of like a like a Discovery Channel documentary,
Yeah.
and I'll just draw whatever's on the screen. But I noticed that like if I'm not listening to music, I cannot concentrate on what I'm drawing. Like I just can't sit there and I can't draw. So if I have earbuds and I can throw them in, I can listen to music. Or like watching TV, I can watch TV and I can draw what's on the screen. I like doing that. I like drawing stuff that's in the room. I know I had one sketchbook where I sat down. I was on a trip to Florida and I just sat at different locations and drew different people. Now obviously it's kind of weird because you don't tell them that you're drawing them, but I'm just sitting there and I'm drawing people in what positions. Like I would sit at a coffee shop. I sat at a coffee shop one time and there was an older man across from like 2 tables from me, and he was like drinking coffee, and I just sat there and I'm like, I am so sorry, I'm gonna draw this picture of you. It's just, I don't know, it teaches yourself to draw a person while they're moving. Like you can still capture a moment that you're trying to draw them in. I've watched definitely a lot of YouTube videos. I follow a lot of art accounts on Instagram of different people that take college art classes. I just watch how they draw. Previously, when I used to draw faces, I would just go draw the face. That's what I do. Now I'm more of like, you take the circle, I take the circle, and then I make like a triangle for the jawline, and then you just build off of that. I learned that off of just watching an Instagram video. So like, I enjoy self-teaching myself more than anything. I'm more of a hands-on learner, I guess. I'm very independent, which is, I don't know, I think that's a good thing sometimes, because I feel like if I can do it by myself, I'm more responsible to do it. I don't have to fall back on anyone, and I think that's how I am with art. Obviously, I have friends. We learn off each other. We learn different things, which is always a cool thing.
I do draw a lot. I've always kind of been into it, even though I'm not the best, but it's still fun. I like painting with acrylic a lot.
Oh yeah, like I have a painting room at my house and I draw all the time. Like I took art last year and like I still continue that today. Like whenever I'm bored, I'll still draw or do something. Not really landscapes, but it's more like, one of my most favorite was like, I guess this was a landscape, like we drew a house and then like the sky in the background and the trees and everything, and it was what was it? It was like, what is it called? I can't think of what it's called. It's not oil, like the pastel. That was my favorite. Or like I drew like a yellow bug, like at the car. A lot of faces.
I don't know where they come from most of the time, but just a lot of faces. And I know when I first started keeping a regular sketchbook, I think it was about 6th grade, it was, I was trying to draw the comic book manga style faces, and that's kind of where I started with, and then I just kept going. And I still draw a lot of faces, but it's not, I tried to dip into realistic, a little difficult for me, so I'm trying to reel back to the cartoonish just because I think I enjoy it more. I'm not quite yet to the point where I'm confident in color, but unless I'm painting, but as far as drawing, it's just a lot of pencil and paper, pen, that kind of thing. And I know in middle school I went through a thing where I would like come across a cartoon character and try to redraw it, and a lot of the times I'd do it pretty well. And it would look almost like a copy, that kind of thing, in a sense. Especially like if you're trying to draw a cartoon character that, you might not, you see, but like, oh, can I draw that like the artist draws that, and then you can try it, and it works sometimes,
Yeah, a lot. I use it as an outlet for like I have really bad anxiety and bipolar disorder. So I like to incorporate like how that makes me feel in the colors and like the pain and the randomness into my art, and just go based on that. And I like to do a lot of shading and work with pencils mostly.
I draw like in a sketchbook a lot. I couldn't find my sketchbook. I was going to bring it in and show you some things. I took some pictures of it though. But it's just like there's no story. It's just like I draw pictures of people, or like I draw like one of my pictures is like a heart, but it's like cut in half, and then like it's like blood, but it's like galaxy. Like it's just like not really symbolizing anything, but I just like it. Like it's fun for me to do, and like for a lot of people, I like, instead of like buying a card, I'll draw them a really nice thing that like means something to the both of us. Or like in class, like I probably get in trouble for this a lot, but I'll just like doodle little like I'll just be drawing lines or whatever. Like I get in trouble so much for that. But I feel like it's so much easier to just like sit there and learn without like just being bored. Like it keeps me like going. Like it's I don't know.
I know that I want to keep on drawing because it's something I'm passionate about, and it's something that like a lot of people can relate me to. Like, oh, she's good at drawing and good at painting. You know, I'm pretty known for my artistic ability, and right now I don't know where exactly that would fit in my future because I know I want to go into the health field, and I want to somehow incorporate that or somehow like also do that like on the side or something like that. Like, I don't want to just like completely like, give it up. It's not something worth giving up. I don't like draw or paint as much as anymore as I used to because I feel like when I'm in an art class, like that's like what I have to do. But when I feel like certain like emotions or something, then I will like go get out my art supplies and just do that for like literally the entire day. Like, I probably wouldn't even eat lunch because I'll just be sitting there. And when I'm doing it, like drawing or painting, usually my mood can like affect like the color scheme. Like, if I'm sad or if I'm happy, like it'll be brighter colors, or if I'm sad it'll be darker colors. But I tend to have, like, if I put a person in my drawings or paintings, it's usually one person, and it's not like an exact person, it's just a person. So I feel like at the same time I'm showing that I'm alone, but I'm also with everything like around nature or something that can relate to me. When I'm painting, it's more to do with like a lake or a beach for some reason. Like, I always turn to that, and I've also tried getting out of like that comfort zone a little bit because I tend to stick in my own comfort zone. Like, for the longest time I didn't really like painting, but I've learned to just go with it and try my best with it and see where it goes. For like the longest time though, I stuck with just a pencil and I wouldn't touch anything else because I just wanted a pencil. And I used to draw like the body and the hair, but I wouldn't draw the face because like I didn't necessarily think that they needed a certain identity to like really like define the person, but like I did like very detailed hair and a body, but they didn't have a face. So for the longest time, a lot of my drawings, they don't have faces, but they're still a person.
I took Art 1 my freshman year, and I haven't taken Art 2 yet, but I'm taking it next year though. So I did pretty good in Art 1. I think I'm confident in my drawing though. I even use some of the stuff we learned back then. It's kind of like I just got used to it and started using those like things. Like with the shading and stuff like that, and like the circle, when we would draw the circle, you like told us to draw half a circle first. I do that too.